everybody, my name is Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you very much for coming back and spending some time with me today. So I'm not going to hang around this morning. This is a Flosstube number 40 and it's Tuesday the 18th of April 2023. I'm not going to hang around. Having a bit of shall we say local drama this morning. There's a couple of happenings outside which I'll explain in my next video, because I'm due to do a chatty stitch with me in any case. So I'm just going to crack on straight away with the full coverage and the other bits that I've been getting up to this week. Okay, so let's jump right in. The first piece I've worked on is this little design, and it's Stitching Jules as a polar bear and cub. I absolutely love stitching on this. That looks quite pixelated when you look at it close up, but the stitched image is just so much softer. It's beautiful. I've got significant progress again with it this week. Last time we saw it were on on the right page. It helps, doesn't it? Last time we saw we were on 86.58%, and we are now up to 92.86%, and all of the little cub is in. There's just some white to do. I'm so excited. I have 1700 stitches left and this piece is done. They're all white stitches, but that's not a problem. I've got some call listening to do tomorrow, so I'll probably be able to plod through a few of those stitches then. But if I'm able to put in any extra work on this week, which I might, this could be finished next week. If that is, that will please me no end, because I've been looking forward to seeing it finished. So yeah, I'll be sad to sort of see it end, but glad to see a finish, if that makes sense. Okay, so next piece I stitched on is my largest piece, which is this one. It's called Night Cafe and it's by Leonid Afremov. I'm doing the supersized max colour version because go big or go home. And this one is just shy of 1 million stitches, 991,000 stitches. You know, I'm stitching this piece 2/1 tent stitch using a version, on my interpretation, of Needle Ninja's snake method. And as you can see there, I've come down a little bit further. We've got lots more orange in, lots of park threads as well. But also on this square we started with some green, so we've got a new colour that's come in and it's looking super. I'm trying to get in around sort of 1500 to 2000 stitches a week on this at the moment. It's not a priority piece, but it is a piece that I can do 1000 stitches in the same time that it takes me to do 500 on another, with it being 10 stitch. So we went from 2.26% to 2.46% on that one. Okay, let's see now. The third piece I have not even brought over because I'm such a wally. Like I said, there's been lots going on. 2 seconds. I'm back. You see, look, I do this every video. I forget something, don't I? So the next piece I worked on is this one. Another Heaven and Earth design, artwork by Hannah Lynn, and it's the freebie Maui Princess. And I've got some super progress on this week. Not an awful lot in terms of stitches because I've only put in 1000, but it just seems like all of a sudden we've got another feature. So last time we were at 46.61%, and we are now at 46.87. So I'm just going to fold this a little bit so you can see the part where I worked. So I've worked on this part here, and I have eyebrows. So there's an eyebrow here and there's an eyebrow here, I think. Yes. So we've got some eyebrows, and I know it's only a little thing, but woohoo, facial features coming in. So that'll be the next part of this piece that kind of gets a bit of serious work. But let's give her a face. And just for completeness, there's the full piece. As you can see, all that hair, she needs a face, doesn't she? So that is my Maui Princess, which is going to be the next one in line for a finish, all being well. Just put this one away because I don't want to get them mixed up if I can help it. Okay, so lastly, this last week I've put in a little bit more work on my new start, and if you've seen my stitch with me, my chatty stitch with me that I released at the end of last week or mid last week, whenever it was, you'll have seen this one sort of started, and it's this one. It's called She Sleeps, and the artwork is by Stephanie Pui-Mun Law. I want to say Lee for some reason, but it's not, it's Law. And it's 100 and sort of, you know, near enough 150,000 stitches. And last Flosstube we were at 0.67%, and now we're at 1%. So as you can see there, the top is coming in. There are an awful lot of browns, shades of browns and taupe, and there's lots of pinks and purples in that, because I'm doing this the regular size but max colour. But on 20 count fabric, let me just show you the size of the fabric. 20 count fabric means enormous. Oh dear, I can't lean back that far, it hurts my tummy muscles. But yeah, there's the width. I mean, obviously it's a round pattern, and I think that that is like a 10-inch hoop mark. So as you can see, it's quite a size, or it will be quite a size when it's done. So yeah, quite pleased with, again, how that's coming along. It's being worked on 20 count fabric, 1/1 full cross, no, 2/1 full cross. If I ever forget to tell you what's worked on what fabric and all the rest of it, I usually put the details in the description, because I'm terrible at remembering, and while I'm sat here I've realised I haven't done it for the other pieces. So Polar Bear and Cub is on 18 count Magic Guide 2/1. Maui Princess is 1/1 full cross on 25 count evenweave, 2/1 tent stitch for the Night Cafe on 25 count evenweave, and 2/1 full cross on 20 count Aida for She Sleeps. So yeah, all different fabrics, and I'm going to put in another one now. So the last piece that I worked on, I haven't brought the mock-up over because, again, I'm a wally and I'm not getting up again. If you look back on my last Flosstube, you'll see it. It's a classic embroideries Map of Yorkshire, and I've got quite a lot of progress in on this week. I am halfway through the buildings. I've got a fair amount of the background done. I've got a border obviously to do, but anyway, I'm stitching this. It's on 28 count Linda, and it's 2/1 full cross, but there is some half cross stitching one strand for shading, and lots of back stitch, which I have been doing as I go, because I resolved to do it as I go. I've been doing it as I go, and it's working. So last week we got a couple of we've got sort of this end in, haven't we? But now we've got right over to the right hand side with buildings. So just to go in a bit closer, that is Mount Grace Priory, and then I finished off the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. Bert and Agnes all also got finished. This is Whitby Abbey, this is Staithes Harbour, and this is Scarborough, and then all of the backstitch or the half cross stitch C I've put in, and I've got another building or another scene coming up here, and that is York Minster. We've also done that. That's got some gold to go in, and all of these being ones with grass have got some French knots, but I'm not doing that till the very end because I don't want them to get squashed. So yeah, very pleased with how this is coming along, and you can see where I've got to work. Yeah, I'm all being well, I am on track for having this done at the end of the month. I'll just have to see. Where I've started, my plan last week on it was to work on it in the morning and then pick up my full coverage and then go back to it because of the full crosses and the difficulties with the chart. And I kind of did that, but then we got to the weekend and I was like, I don't want to stitch on this first thing. And the weekend is when I picked up the polar bear, and I also picked up the night cafe, which meant that because I got all day at the weekend, I did get in some extra stitches. I was supposed to do some overtime last Saturday, but it did get pulled because of system maintenance, which is a shame in one way, but it's good in another because it means that I could you know, do some more stitching. And what's not to love about that? I truly do wish that I had more time to stitch, and I would stitch all day, every day. But unfortunately I don't. I do have to do something called the work break in between. But you know, there we go. So that is how the land lies at the moment with my stitching. So the best laid plans last week of getting out Envy and the Realm of Middle Earth didn't happen. But my plan this week is, and all being well, I can stick to it, I'm going to do a couple of days on Stitching Shelf, a couple of days on Envy, a couple of days on the Realm of Middle Earth map, and then the rest of the time I'm going to fill in with Polar Bear and Cub and see if we can't get that to a finish. It is of course subject to change, and I will be doing the Yorkshire map in between, but I'm hopeful that, you know, I can you know, sort of stick to that this week. My first piece will be the Envy, I think, because I've not had her out on the channel for a stitch with me for a little bit. Let me have a look. Yeah, Envy hasn't been on a stitch with me since March, so Envy will be my alternative stitch with me piece. And then I've got a chatty one to do after that, which will probably be, might be on the Middle Earth actually, because again that's not been out on the channel for a little while. Anyway, just briefly to do with the channel, I did put a post in my community page, and I also put a post on Instagram. I did have to have a little bit of a rant. It seems like every time I post a video somebody immediately goes and dislikes it, and that's fine, you know. But it just sent that every time I posted the image, the crop of it on Instagram, it was an immediate dislike. Now, I've had a few conversations, and you know, I've come to the conclusion that if you want to dislike my video, then absolutely fine, crack on. It's still going to help with engagement. People think perhaps that the dislike button doesn't do anything. Well, it actually does. But what's important to me is, if you dislike my video for any reason, then do leave me some feedback. I do think it's a bit rich to leave a dislike and not feedback what the problem is. I'm sort of the kind of person that's very straight talking, and don't worry that your comment won't get published, because it will. You know, unless you're actually doing something that's targeted specifically at me. But yeah, you know, at least have the gumption to tell me if there is something wrong. That's all I'm saying. I shouldn't really, I know this, but I try and kind of be a people pleaser, because I do put out something for everybody on the channel. I've got my weekly updates, I've got my 3 kinds of stitch with me, which suits most of my audience, if not all of you. But if there's anything else that you do want to suggest or whatever, put it down below, I'll take it and have a look at it. But anyway, rant over. I'm going to go and get on and do some stitching, because I haven't done a stitch yet this morning, and it's nearly 7:45. Because of the drama that happened outside. I've not been able to, and I've only got an hour before I start work. So I'm going to leave that there, guys, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Happy stitching. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Take the time to watch another video of mine, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.